You're sitting with them. The room is alive with sound. Laughter bouncing off walls, glasses clinking, conversations overlapping. Someone tells a story. Everyone reacts at the right time. You smile when you're supposed to. You nod. You laugh softly. And yet, there's a quiet hollowness inside your chest. Not loud enough to disrupt the moment, just loud enough that you can't ignore it. You're surrounded, but untouched. You feel alone not because no one is there, but because no one is with you. And what hurts the most isn't the loneliness itself, it's the confusion. You think, why do I feel this way when I'm not alone? What's wrong with me? But here's the truth no one ever told you. Your loneliness is not a social failure. It's a survival strategy that outlived its purpose. At some point in your life, being fully seen wasn't safe. So you learned something quieter, smarter, more subtle. You learned how to be present without being vulnerable, how to belong without revealing your inner world, how to stay connected while emotionally withdrawing. And here is the core paradox. The same emotional skill that once protected you is now the reason you feel disconnected everywhere you go. You didn't stop feeling. You learned how to hide your feelings, even from yourself. And now, even among friends, something essential is missing. Not them, you.
Psychologically speaking, this pattern is not a mystery. It's a well-documented adaptation to early emotional environments where presence was conditional. Let's name what happened, clearly, calmly, without blame. 1. Emotional neglect schema. Emotional neglect doesn't mean no one was around. It means no one mirrored your inner world. Your feelings weren't attacked, they were unnoticed. Over time, your nervous system learned, my emotions don't invite connection, they disappear into silence. So your psyche adapted by turning inward quietly, efficiently. You became emotionally self-sufficient too early, not because you wanted independence, but because dependence didn't feel safe. 2. Avoidant or anxious avoidant attachment. In attachment theory, this creates a paradoxical bond pattern. You crave closeness, but intimacy activates discomfort. Why? Because closeness once required self-erasure. So, as an adult, you unconsciously keep relationships at a safe emotional distance, close enough to belong, far enough to remain protected. You share stories, not feelings, thoughts, not needs, presence, not truth. 3. Hypervigilance and the default mode network. Your brain learned to scan rooms, not for joy, but for safety. You track tone shifts, micro-expressions, the emotional temperature of the group. Your default mode network, the part of the brain active during self-reflection, becomes overactive. Instead of being, you are monitoring. Am I too much? Am I boring? Am I welcome? This constant self-observation fractures presence, and connection cannot happen where presence is divided. So loneliness emerges not as a lack of people, but as a lack of emotional embodiment. You are there, but not inhabiting yourself. Carl Jung once wrote, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents. But there is another burden, quieter, less visible, the unlived life of the self." People like you often grow up becoming containers for other people's emotions, other people's needs, other people's moods. You learned that harmony was more important than honesty, that being easy to be around mattered more than being real. So you sacrificed authenticity for acceptance, and the grief of that sacrifice is invisible. No one mourns it with you, because no one ever saw what you gave up. This creates what philosophers call ontological loneliness, a sense of being unseen at the level of existence itself. You fear being emotionally exposed, being misunderstood, being too much, being abandoned after revealing your truth. So you stay emotionally fluent, but existentially alone. Even joy feels muted. Even laughter feels distant. Even love feels theoretical. You are present, but not received. And slowly, quietly, the question forms: if no one knows the real me, do I even exist here? This is the pain beneath the pain, the loneliness beneath the loneliness. This doesn't stay internal. It shapes everything. In relationships, you might feel disconnected in groups but calmer one-on-one. Be the listener who rarely shares. Downplay your needs to avoid burdening others. Feel closer to people who need you than those who want to know you. They become adults who are liked but not deeply known. In career, you may excel in roles that require emotional management, struggle with self-advocacy, feel unseen despite competence, overwork to justify your place, because visibility feels unsafe and less earned. In self-worth, your value becomes conditional. I matter if I'm useful. I belong if I'm low maintenance. You don't feel inherently worthy, only situationally accepted. In boundaries, you struggle to say no, not because you're weak, but because separation feels like rejection. So you merge, you adapt, you disappear, politely. In emotional regulation, you intellectualize feelings instead of feeling them. You explain pain instead of expressing it. Tears feel embarrassing. Needs feel dangerous. Anger feels forbidden. In internal identity, you ask, who am I when no one needs me? What do I feel when I stop performing? And the silence can feel terrifying. Here is the key reframe. These are not personality traits. They are coping mechanisms. And coping mechanisms can be witnessed without shame. Awareness is the beginning of unlearning, not forcing change, not fixing yourself, just noticing, oh, this is how I survived. Healing does not mean becoming louder or more social or more confident. Healing means coming back into yourself. 1. Inner child reparenting. Ask gently, what did I need that I never received? Then begin offering it. Consistency, validation, emotional presence. Not perfectly, just honestly. 2. Shadow work. Explore the parts you learned to hide: neediness, anger, softness, desire. These are not flaws, they are exiled truths waiting for permission. 3. Nervous system regulation. Loneliness lives in the body. Breathwork, grounding, slow connection. Teach your system. Closeness does not equal danger. 4. Choosing softness over survival. You don't need to earn presence anymore. You don't need to disappear to belong. Start small. Share one honest feeling. Stay present when discomfort arises. Let someone respond to the real you. And remember this: the goal is not to be fixed, but to become whole. Wholeness means taking up emotional space without apology. If this resonated with you, it's because something in you is ready to be seen, not managed. And if you choose to stay here, to reflect, to share, to to subscribe, you're not just consuming content, you're reclaiming presence. And that, quietly, deeply, is where loneliness begins to end.